Greetings everybody, I am the Soviet Warlord, or Oliver of Solstice, as some of you now know me, and I have some news for you and some space engineers. Have a look around. What do you see? My mining station, the hauler, the bombard, the victory! It's all back. And I've got some news for everybody, not just those who watch Space Engineers, but for those who watch Stakhanov's builds, who watch my Warframe content. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I've got some news for everybody. So here I am, walking across this big ship of mine. Look at this. It's beautiful. Just the way I remember it. Oh, it looks like it's got a few digs in the metalwork here. That's not good. Ruining my paint job. Okay, so let's get to the news while I get building this base. Off camera I have hollowed this out. I still need to add in a floor, but this is the hangar for all my small ships. I was going to get 6 in here, but I decided to opt for 4 instead, mainly just because of the size of the asteroid. This could always change. I could build another hangar underneath depending on where the need takes me, but we'll get to that at some point. So yeah, you might remember this, just to refresh your memory before I get onto the news here. What was that? Oh no, that's the wrong way around. That window is the other way around. It's wrong. Yeah, for those of you who remember this world, it's fantastic. Space Engineers had a big HD update, so all these blocks are now in high definition and they look really nice. Like, they've done a really good job on making this game better. The only downside still is the long loading times, and it still takes quite a bit. It's still clunky and there's still not a hell of a lot of content without mods, so it's still got a long way to go, but I'm really enjoying this game again, and I finally managed to get this save file up and running. Anyway, that's not what a lot of you are here for, so let's get on to the news about Stakhanov's builds and such. The good news is I am still playing Warframe and doing Stakhanov's builds, as you've seen 2 episodes put up. Yes, it was a while ago, and there is a good reason for that this time. It's not just me deciding not to bother with the series or anything like that, I can assure you. Anyway, I had a look on the game and there was a lot of new changes, and I mean a lot. I mean, I just thought it was going to be a case of pick up and go, but oh no, I was completely wrong. Like, that game has changed in so many ways. Like, I had quests to do. I was like, what the hell are these? Like, me and Lestat, we actually popped on to try and do some of these. I did eventually. We realised there's new stuff like transference, human form. Well, I assume it's a human form anyway, or Tenno-form. There's new guns, there's new events, there's mechanics we haven't seen, there's new enemies, there's so much stuff that we needed to relearn. And I've been working my way through them. The whole void system has changed. You know, it's not keys anymore, it's relics, and it's chances to get what you want, and I don't know, it was a big shock when I came back on. And then there's Lua, the new, well, I say planet, more just the moon of Earth, and the sentient enemies, all of that sort of stuff. It's just knocked me for 6. I was like, what is all this stuff? So that's why I haven't been actually posting these, because I did a few episodes and then realised just how much of the game I actually have to relearn. On top of that, as I understand, over the last month they've actually released a significant number of new weapon-specific modifications, which I need to get my head around. So that's the reason why you haven't seen the 3rd episode yet. Anyway, apart from that, I'm finally learning the ropes properly, and I think I now know the game, I wouldn't say inside out. I mean, nobody knows it inside out, apart from the developers maybe, but I think I've got a pretty good knowledge of it now to bring you some well-informed content, because that's the one pitfall that I fall into as a content maker who makes tutorials, is if you don't know the game yourself, the stuff you recommend is going to be absolutely, you know, it's going to be null and void. Like, there's no point making content if you don't know what you're talking about. So that's the reason for the lack of content there. Second reason is I've actually changed the platform with which I am posting. I say changed, you're still going to see everything on YouTube. Like, if you're subscribed to me, you'll see the episodes as they come out. Like, don't fret. But I'm a writer in real life. I work freelance. I actually make quite a bit of side cash doing some freelancing. It's really good side money on top of what I do for a living, which at the moment is retail. That may be due to change at some point in the future, but yeah, I freelance a lot to make a bit of side cash. I do quite a bit on Fiverr. So if you've got like story ideas, I write them for people. And given how popular my writing work was getting, I decided to digitalize a little bit more and create my own website. And I thought, why not put Stakhanov's builds on there, all my content, my gaming videos, my series, all that kind of stuff. So I've actually digitalized it by putting all of my videos and all of my writing work on the website. So if you guys want to have a look at some of my writing content, you know, if you're looking for some new stuff to read, you know, if you're a little bit bored or something, then you can have a look at it. I mean, I do quite a lot of fiction. I write every genre. I do advert work. I do just about any kind of writing imaginable. So that's where I've been. It's been quite an ambitious project because I knew basically nothing about web design. I still know basically nothing about web design, but I found a decent host which would allow me to basically build the website without needing to have an extensive knowledge of coding. That was kind of key for me because I can't code to save my life. I did computer science in school, but I was still absolutely terrible at it. I couldn't code like for anything. So yeah, I needed a website builder, and the host that I got, which is Weebly in the end, they have quite a decent system for building a website. Really easy to just drop and drag and set it up. So that's where I've been. I've been setting all that up. I've been monetizing myself a bit more, get some extra side cash so I can afford to pay my bills and my rent. Also got a car which is kind of conked out this week, so that's quite a bit of money I need to make back, which is lovely. So I've got a bit of side work to do. So what I'll do is I'll put a link to that in both the video and the description so you can go and have a look at it. Videos here, this is the bit that might interest you about the website. There is a Warframe section, you'll find Stakhanov's builds on there. The videos that I have not posted yet, you will find a weapons file for. So even if there's no video, you will have my remarks, so you can read what I'm essentially going to put into the next video before I actually make the video. So it's not going to be quite as in-depth as the video will tell you, and it's not quite as graphic as the video will tell you, but you'll basically know what's coming out before anyone else will. And there is also a subscription on there, so if you want to subscribe to the site, it is completely free. It just means I can email out newsletters and tell you what's basically going on. Then there's also the option to do that, so I would definitely recommend it because it keeps you ahead of the game in terms of Stakhanov's builds. Space Engineers I'm going to make a comeback with, as well as Warframe, now that I know Warframe well enough to actually create content that's worth watching. So both games will be running concurrently. If you don't like Space Engineers, you will have some Warframe content. If you don't like Warframe, there will be some Space Engineers content. The website, when I do these games on them, is all about the viewers in a way. So if you read my content and you want to get involved, I can name stuff after you as a viewer or a reader, all kinds of stuff like that. So feel free to look out for it. It's quite an interesting endeavour, and hopefully you'll share my enthusiasm with it. So that's basically the story with Stakhanov's build. It is still going ahead, but I wanted to make sure I was well informed of the game before I decided to start throwing my weight around and laying down the gauntlet with weapons. I don't want to say a weapon is good when it's absolutely disgusting, you know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate your patience with that. I know quite a few of my loyal followers will get through that, and I was blown away when I relaunched the series. Like, I don't know what you guys did, but 30,000 views on a video about the Spectra is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, absolutely, like from the depths of my soul, thank you for that. I didn't expect to get that kind of response. Plus 500 likes, it's incredible. I think that's probably my most liked video out of the whole lot. So I didn't realise you guys liked the Spectra that much. Either that or you guys have done some serious promotion for me, in which case thank you is still in order. So that's quite the thing for me. I didn't expect that, honestly. Thank you. So considering this station I've built here, it's called Solstisto Station. The website is also called Solstisto, and I figured I might as well dedicate quite a bit of it to my readers and viewers. Feel free to share the website, on Facebook and stuff. There's links to me on, LinkedIn, Facebook, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you want to know, I recommend following me on Facebook. So if you want to know what's going on, you can go onto my website. There's a Facebook click on the homepage. You can go on there, subscribe to me on there. I'll post my new videos coming out. You'll be far more up to date with what's happening, because I kind of appreciate just being on YouTube kind of kills off the whole connectivity thing. So now that I'm on Facebook with the page and everything, it's going to be so much easier to keep you guys informed and actually create content. So I'm really looking forward to it, as I've built quite a good bit of infrastructure for the future, so I've just got to make sure I actually capitalise on it and don't mess it up. Because I have a habit of doing that when it comes to content creation. There we go. So, back to Space Engineers here. This is the start of our little asteroid station. Or our little asteroid station. We've already built the bombard hangar, which is over there, on the other side of the base. It's complete. If you think I'm getting lights or anything installed on this place yet, you are sorely mistaken. This space station will not be operational for quite some time. And I'm talking a long, long time. I still need to actually build the structure of this thing first, but I want this to be an operating platform for when I eventually go to planets. I've done a bit of tooling up, so I know how to put planets in, I know how to artificially create them, all that sort of stuff. I know some people would see that as cheating, but I prefer starting in space, and you don't have a start where you start in space but there are planets around you. You have one or the other and not both. It's kind of frustrating. So this was the best I could do. But once I have this, I can start building a few more fighter crafts. I can start really industrializing this place. And building that bombard was a nice way to set the pace. This bombard is a lovely ship, and I didn't appreciate it quite as much as I do now. So it's all good. Now if you guys excuse me for a moment, I'm going to fill this stuff in, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Oh, whoops. Here we go. So we have the framework built here. Now this hangar door is, I think it's 8 wide, and I think it's 6 high. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. Now I figured this is going to be big enough to fit quite a few of my older ships and some of the salvage ones in here. Let me just... yeah, there's nothing coming, that's good. Yeah, so it's going to be big enough to fit some of the stolen pirate ships in here, because what I want to do is turn this into a bit of a repurposing area as well. So it's not only a place to store my ships, but it's also going to be an area where I can build new ones out of existing craft. As long as they fit through this door at the end of the day, I don't mind. Though they may need to fit through a 4 high, because I'm going to put a hangar door on the top here. Anyway, what we're going to do is get in our lovely little tunnelling machine here, and we're going to dig out some of these rooms. Now I'm a little bit concerned about digging this side, because I plan to put a corridor coming through here. Now the problem is I don't know whether this hangar bay is going to be too big or too small, or... I mean, I don't know. It's going to have to be quite compact, that's for sure. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Right, let's dig through. I probably want to get it probably 5 or 6 deep, but that might interfere with my corridor plan. I was thinking I might just hollow the asteroid out entirely and don't just build it to requirements, because if I want to put some wiring in, it's going to be easier just to burrow behind the wall and build it, rather than have to burrow through the wall and then through 25 tons of rock, as will be the case. So, do I even need the light in here? Probably not. The bombard is lighting it up. I figured the light in here wasn't very good, so I got the bombard to shine its light in here, and it works out pretty nicely. There's a few changes I've noticed with this thing, which is a little bit worrying. Now, I have a speed mod on for 500 meters a second. When I was testing my old designs, this tunnel bore machine could fly at 500 meters per second with no problems, even on the same patch and update that I'm on. Unknown signal. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I could fly at the 500 meters per second. Even though I haven't patched the game anymore at all, I then switched over to this version. This, I call it backup number 11. I've got quite a few backups in case my file goes wrong. But I went over to this backup, this current version that I'm running, and every time my ship reaches about 200 meters a second, I very violently lose control. Like, the ship becomes unpilotable and it's flailing all over the place, and it's just impossible to fly, like, completely. And I don't understand why that is, because even though it's the same update as Space Engineers, my older file works fine and this one doesn't, so I don't know whether that's physics or maybe my old design had a different thrust setup or something, but... Or maybe it's the azimuth thrusters, like maybe the azimuth ships don't run as smoothly as they used to, but I'm still going to use azimuth because azimuth thrusters are just so much cooler. Wait, let's see what I can do with this. Not very much. Yeah, I think the ceiling's still going to go up one, like this is here. So this is slightly indented. It's going to have a hangar door. All 4 of these are going to have hangar doors on them. Yeah, that needs to be a lot further back. Thing is, when you fly these things, the proportion and the perspective looks so much wonkier. Well, it looks bigger than it actually is. Now, I always have to be careful reversing. I tend to smash these things up so easily. Okay. Dig through here. Dig through the bottom here. Oh, this tunnel bore machine makes digging this out so much nicer. I was tempted to build a little bulletin board of the tunnel bore to try and list some statistics about it when it's in its bay, but I don't know what statistics I'd put for the tunnel bore, but this thing is a lovely piece of kit. I wouldn't give up the tunnel bore for anything. It's lovely. Best piece of digging equipment I could ask for, especially with a project of this size. Need to very carefully turn so I don't damage the ship. Oh yeah, I'm upside down, that's why. There we go. So let's have a look. I still need the left to be dug out quite a bit further. I mean, I can hand drill this out. Like so. Like that, yeah. I mean, it's a really tall hangar for this, but it's necessary. So Oh yeah, there's debris in the way. So this was the dividing wall down the middle. Now I don't want the hangar bay lowered, so I'm going to just put a basic floor in this. I don't need it lowered like at all. I don't think there's a need to lower it. The reason I've lowered it out here is that I have extra space for dismantling larger ships. They fit through the door. Like if they're borderline big enough, then I've got an extra block of space that I can use to dismantle and repurpose. So there's a reason for it out there, but not in here because this is just a storage bay. So that's my reasoning behind that. I may put the ceiling, as I say, up one just because I can fit a lighting rig up there and light this place up when I get a power core. I've got some big plans for this place, I'm telling you. I'm still worried about what this is going to dig through. Let's see if I can dig a bit through here. Actually, let me... I've got a better idea. Let me put a waypoint here. Or walkway. Yeah, I'm pretty much in line with it here, so I can't build this walkway any further than this. Let's build this, if possible, 6 inwards. So I can have a 6 long bay. And I reckon that will just about avoid clashing. And there'll be a wall here. And then the walkway just beyond it. I think I'll get away with this. Just about. Obviously this needs to be a one space here. So I just need to expose this wall a little bit like that. I'm going to paint all of this later, like it's not just going to stay white like this. Oh yeah, that's the exterior wall. Yeah. The base is already coming together, it's lovely. I'm going to love this base when it's completed. Like, I have always wanted to get this far in Space Engineers, and that's why when the game got updated I wasn't prepared to start a new world. I wanted to wait until this thing got to its peak. Yeah, I'm going to fill that in and build it, because I won't reach it otherwise. Okay, so let me build the framework here for this little hangar. We'll see how it goes. Just give me a second, guys. Here we go. Now it's all filled in. I was actually very, very lucky. Let me show you here. Went through this door here, and it's literally 1 block away is the hangar, so it's literally bang on. So I was really happy about that. What am I getting so many notifications? Anyway, I need to fill this in, and then we will add some paint to this place, make it look a little bit more like home. Some decorations. And the problem is, because I can't light this up because there's no power, so I can't light it up, which is a shame, but it's necessary. I'm not going to have power on this structure for quite a long time. The bombard is basically my living quarters at the moment, not to mention the mobile mining station. I think if I dig in here and I set the conveyors up, I could probably have this place set up by the end of the week, real time. There we go. Now the reason I left the corridor out here 3 wide instead of 1 is so that I can fit a connector and some conveyors without making the place look really ugly. I can cover over conveyors with catwalks. So catwalk plates are pretty good at hiding those sorts of things. I can get away with it. Ooh, am I going to have enough to fix this lot? Probably not. No, this is probably the last one. Yeah. I brought the hauler up here thinking it had all my gear in it. It's not. It's the mobile mining station has all my gear in it. You can tell I'm out of practice, can't you? There we go. 1300. Let's build this. Come on now. Just like that. So we've got our ceiling. Let's put our floor in here. Now of course I've got to try and build the wiring as I go, because if I don't build the wiring it's going to get really difficult later because I won't know what connects to where. So I'm going to do a really big hollowing operation off camera once I've done these hangars, and we'll see where we go from there. Oh, a Class 3F frigate. 3F has, I think, it's got a lot of guns on it, but it's not very big. So those are the things. I want to try and salvage those and bring them home. Once I bring them home, I can start, you know, repurposing them and turning them into war-worthy ships. I should get a miniature welder ship to do this. It's a real pain in the arse to keep doing it manually. But I'm not very good at building welding ships, like at all. Like, in a way I'd rather just do it by hand because I can't figure out how to make a welder work the way I need it to. Last time I built a welding ship it just wouldn't move. Like, I put the gyroscopes and the thrusters and all that in it and it literally just didn't want to move. I was really unhappy about it. It's going to have such an impact to have all my ships tucked away in their safe places, and I can actually switch them off and save power rather than leave them idle out here. I don't like leaving my ships in the open, but you know, sometimes you have to. Go. I've already gathered a lot of extra fuel and stuff to make this place, like, I want to have enough fuel here to last for years without worrying. The amount of storage I've got planned for this place is absolutely, it's gut-wrenchingly large. So this is going to become like a main basing hub in order to set up other bases in the sector. The hauler is going to be the go-between. I mean, I've taken a hell of a lot of materials off the hauler and it's still got like 4 containers that can still be filled up. The hauler is a beautiful ship. I didn't realise how functional that's going to be. I reckon 1.5 more loads will finish this lot off. My oxygen is getting dangerously low. Let's do this before my oxygen runs out, shall we? I can always hop in the tunneler because I think it's still got an oxygen tank running in it. Here we go. I'm going to decorate this and paint it. I'll probably do the painting off camera just to speed that up a little bit. Because I know you guys don't really want to see me building stuff from the ground up, it's rather dull. But so this is the principle for it. Dig the bit out, put in an outline, fill in what I call the hardwired blocks, the stuff that you can't reach once the rest of the foundation is put on top of it, and then build it from the inside out, basically, like this. There we go, that's one hangar completed. All it needs is a lick of paint and it will look perfect. Right, I think I'm going to paint this now. This is going to be where I'm going to keep the tunnel machine. So let's see what I can do with it accordingly. Okay, so this place is starting to look a bit like a traffic jam now. I mean, wow, look at this. Bear with. Let's have a little notification on the side of my screen. Yeah, I've got a reference point set up here in the back of the asteroid, as you can tell, so I basically don't drill right to the other side. Because I want to have a rock covering all the way around this base. I only want the hangar to be visible. Now, I actually have a floor plan on a document set up next to me here to kind of get an idea of how this base is going to be built. I want to leave it open so I can add to it if I get more ships, because this is going to be a staging hub. Oh, that's within touching distance. Yeah. Still, a 4F is going to have a lot of guns on it. I'll leave that for now. Anyway, I've set out the wireframes here for all of these hangars. I'm going to build these off camera. I'm not going to bore you with them. But they're all the same size. I've set up the signature Solstisto cross in the middle here. And they're ready for building. So I'm going to set up some connectors and a few digital things in here. But I might leave the digital things till later because obviously I need power before I can start doing anything digital. Right now we're just building the skeleton. One thing that's annoying me is when you put the corners in here, you have this little overhang here, which is kind of annoying, but I'll have to deal with it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is look at my plan. I'm going to spend a couple of hours after I finish this episode just generally looking over the plans and seeing what I can build. Excuse me. Next door in the bombard hangar, the one thing I haven't actually done is plan how to connect the bombard hangar to my base yet, because I don't know how many blocks I need to connect the two. I've got a few ideas, but I don't know how good it's going to look. But this place is going to have more cargo capacity than anything I've ever built. I plan to put 20 of those azimuth containers here, probably about 10 or 15 refineries, making sure I've got parts producing, and I want it all connected with the conveyor belt, as well as a fully operational control room and oxygen generating setup. So this base needs to be self-sustaining, with the ability to hold at least 6 or 7 ships. With the amount of space I have down here, a second hangar bay is not out of the question, so I can have 8 small crafts. Yeah, there's a lot of work I need to do here. Yeah, for some reason I died. I literally just walked up here and died on the spot, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. Anyway, off camera I'm going to build this. So this is where I'm going to leave the episode for you. I'm going to dig all of this lot here out and try and create the layout for what I want. And we're going to get into building later. After this, I think I'm going to install the, I think it's called EEP or something like that. EEM, Enhanced Exploration Mod. Apparently adds hundreds of new space pirate ships, factions, all kinds of stuff. But I only want to build that once my base is operational, because that way I have a place to base attacks from. And we'll see how long the Victory lasts against those, because the Victory at the moment is one of my most prized ships. It kills more enemies than pretty much anything else I've ever built. So yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you guys to it. I will see you later, and hopefully you'll be excited for the next episode. I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye. Peace out.